Hi, this is Leigh, and this is Alchemy Intuitive Arts. Do you have a situation in your life that you feel is hopeless? Do you have a situation in your life where you feel that there's nothing you can do to change the course of your life? That things are just going to be the way they're going to be and nothing's going to change? Perhaps you feel hopeless, and perhaps you've done some things that you regret, and sometimes we do things we regret that are significant and that have lasting consequences. And sometimes we do things we regret that will bring us karma. And depending on how serious the situation is, it can be minor karma or it can be significant karma. And in a situation where we're talking about significant karma, it could be something where you have trespassed against divine law and against the divine, against God, and things are really out of balance. They're so out of balance, in fact, that you feel like nothing can improve, that nothing will ever change. And I'm here to tell you that there is hope. Life does have its consequences, but it's how we choose to deal with those consequences that can take us deeper into the karmic cycle or bring us out of the karmic cycle and even potentially minimize the karmic cycle that we're dealing with. Perhaps you've harmed somebody, perhaps you've done something that is embarrassing or it's against your family or your reputation or something that you feel is just unforgivable, like you can't forgive yourself for what you've done. These things happen. Important thing to consider is how you take accountability. How are you taking accountability in your situation? Are you trying to just cover it over and act like it never happened? Or are you taking full accountability, making amends, and doing things to correct the problems that you have created or brought upon yourself? Some people never take accountability. Sometimes they take years to decide that maybe they need to have accountability. And other people, for whatever reason, may not be able to take accountability. Perhaps there's mental illness. Perhaps there's some other kind of issue going on that is creating trauma in their life. These are all things that can interrupt our ability to be accountable. The critically important piece is that if we allow ourselves to be influenced by those people around us who are involved in things that we shouldn't be involved in, then we are going to dive deeper and deeper and deeper into the hole of karma, and we will take on karma of other people. Some people even say that addictions and things like that are actually dark attachments that we have. I don't know for sure how that all works, but what I do know is they'll screw up your life big time. It's a mindset and it's a chemical imbalance. And that goes for any type of addiction, because when we do something addictive, we get a chemical rush. We get a chemical rush, and that spurs our body to continue to do the same things over and over again to get that rush. And that includes abusive behavior. Abusive behavior towards other people is a form of addiction, because when that person harms somebody, they get that chemical rush. It's like an endorphin rush, the same type of rush you get when you eat chocolate, or when you have sex, or when you do drugs. And some drugs, obviously, some addictions cause a greater chemical reaction than other things. Any type of addiction is eventually going to bring karma onto you and potentially other people around you. And so, even though at the time it seems like, oh, this can't hurt, it's just this time, you know, what's the big deal? I can get away with this. And one way that we fool ourselves is to tell us that we have control. We have control over our addictions. We have control over our situation. We have control, when in fact, if we're doing it over and over, despite the fact that it hurts ourselves and others, it is an addiction, and it is causing harm, and it is causing karma. Sometimes with addictions, you may find yourself in a pit of snakes, dealing with people and things that are absolutely not in your best interest. So it's so critical to recognize when that is happening and to get yourself to safety. So the important thing here is to take yourself out of that cycle. And how can we do it? Well, from personal experience, I can say prayer. Prayer. Sometimes you have to humble yourself and pray and meditate and cleanse your body. Get rid of the toxins. Get rid of the people around you that are bringing you down. Even if you have to be alone, it can be painful to withdraw from these addictions. And sometimes it's easy. Once you make up your mind to do something, you can do it. I guarantee you can do it. And the outcome will be better than you thought it would be if you are creating a connection to the divine. Because the divine has a plan for you that you cannot even visualize for yourself. So this is my encouragement to those of you who are dealing with things that you regret, with karma, with addictions, is to take the first step. As they say, one step at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 moment at a time. Just take that initial action and commit to your own happiness. And with that said, peace, love,